let's talk about a plan of care. We have Ida example on our screen, and if we scroll on down, we will see that she has authorizations for attendant hours and respite hours that are about to expire. They expire on 7/31/19. So we're out for our visit today for our review, and we're going to create a new plan of care so it can be submitted. So you want to make sure, especially before you do a review and a plan of care, because all of this information populates on the forms that we need, that you've gone through and completed each one of these buttons. We'll call them our cards. It's a card window that pops up to make sure that everything is completed so all the forms will populate correctly. So we're going to go over here and hit Plan of Care 97AB 7A. And let me say too, when you see this information over here, that's just general information that we've put in. We haven't put a broken down schedule. You can flip from one to the other, and you won't see a broken down schedule. You're just going to see a total number of hours that have been approved. So that just gives you a baseline that they have an authorization that is active that ends on 7/31 to give you a clue that we need to submit a new authorization. Their breakdown of hours on their actual plan of care is in their file, so we have that. So it's not necessary for it to get Ida started. So let's get started with this. I guess the first thing we want to talk about is this screen will let you create 3 different plan of cares. It will let you create one for respite hours, and they're kind of color-coded. Respite, you see here in green, and you can just remember up here, print respite 97AB. That's in green. The navy blue, 97AB, and that's for CCC plus attendant hours. And this is the navy blue section. And then the light blue is the 7A, and that would be for DD waiver under 21, EPSTT 7A. I say light blue. My 5-year-old grandson, he says, Nana, that's not light blue, it's Caribbean blue. So we're going to call it Caribbean blue. So let's create a new plan of care. You do not want to delete anything in here. It's in here for a couple of different reasons, not only for your benefit, but for the office too. So never delete one that's in here, and never type over one. Let's say you have respite here and it's up on the screen and you see it. Don't change these. Don't type over it. You want to create a new one. So you want to go to the plus sign, and we're going to create a new authorization for respite. The date created, it will populate for you, which is the date that you're completing this and having it signed. So you don't want to change that. When does this plan of care begin and end? It's going to begin 8/1/2019, and it's going to end 7/31/2020. It will automatically populate for you, ready to submit, so you don't have to remember to do that. And we're just asking for a reauthorization of hours. So it's not a new admission. It's not an increase in hours. It's not a decrease in hours. It's not a transfer. So we're just going to click over to this little guy and say hours stay the same, request for reauthorization of plan of care. And the screen's jumping around a bit, and I'm not sure why. I'm working on it, and just as soon as I have a fix for that, we'll do an update to Ida and get it done. Excuse me. But anyway, you'll just have to scroll up and down. And if you totally lose place, just go to the very top and find the one you're looking for. We were working on a respite one that began 8/1/2019. So if you just click that bad boy, it'll populate here. So we're working just with the green box. Respite hours per fiscal year. Let's say they have 480. Now it could be, see, it just clicked out, which is really weird. So let's just go back to the respite 8/1/19, and there it is again, so you can see it. It could be that the respite hours are shared with an agency or shared with a respite facility like Jill's house, which is an awesome thing in Nova. So that number could be 100. It could be 120, and then Jill's house would hold the rest of the respite. So make sure you know what your individual is doing. And then to capture a signature, you just want to go to the very bottom, client signature, service facilitator signature, and respite's done. So let's do one for the attendant hours. So we're going to hit the plus sign again, choose attendant, and when does this plan begin? And when does it end? And their schedule's changed. I'm looking at this saying Monday through Friday from 3 until 7:30 and Saturday and Sunday 10 until 1. Excuse me. So their schedule has changed. They don't need quite the 30 hours a week anymore. So I'm going to choose decrease in hours. Then I'm going to come down and start to complete the hours. And just as before, it'll pre-populate for you. So we're going to put 20.25 for meds. Supervision is going to be 0. ADLs, let's start out with 2.75, and IADLs 1.5. And obviously I'm just filling things in quickly, but you will go over with your family what their actual needs are to create that plan of care. Just sit down and chat with them. How long does it take to do these things? So you can come up with what you need. And you'll see that we need to change the Saturday and Sunday schedule because they only need Saturday, Sunday, 10 until 1. So they only need 3 hours on 10 until 1 on Saturday and Sunday. You'll have to forgive my voice. I've had a cold for a couple of weeks and I can't quite get my voice back. So they're there on 10 until 1 on Saturday and Sunday. This individual doesn't take medication from 10 until 1. That's not time for their meds. So we can delete that out. And your tab key will move around to different fields. And I'm sorry about the jumping around, but we'll get that fixed. So we took that out. And let's say they don't need as much time for ADLs. So it's 2.5 hours maybe. And again, I'm just throwing some numbers in here. This is something that you need to work out with the family. In IADLs, let's just say 0.5. Gives them 3 hours. It's 10 until 1, so that works. So their total weekly time is decreased from 30 hours down to 28.5. And you come down and you capture signatures and you're done. So that's how you would create a plan of care for respite and for attendant. If we come back over to the home screen and you come down, you're going to see our active ones are still there, so you know that they still have an active one, but you also see 2 that are marked ready to submit. And that's how you create a plan of care.